Hello, everybody. My name is Kyle, and I am also Steak Snakes or Penguin or Nix's Game. I don't know, random shit, right? But today I would like to talk to you guys about Flare Finance, and this is going to be something that I want to participate a lot in, especially towards the future of both my own personal finance as well as developing NFTs off of this platform. So I feel like it's important for any of my fan base out there to understand a little bit about where I want to go with my stuff, and then if you want to participate with me, then you're more than welcome to. Uh, just so you have a disclaimer, this is not financial advice. This is just simply entertainment, informative information out here. It's just to be here, uh, just for me to talk about it. Whether or not you decide to participate, that is all up to you, and you take full responsibility for that. So, without further ado, this is Flare Finance. This is the first DeFi platform for the Flare network. They have several products: Flare X, which is their decentralized exchange. They have Flare Wrap, you'll be able to wrap various other assets around it, like Bitcoin, um, Doge, XRP, etc. Flare Farm, this is where you're going to do most of your um, staking, I guess. Not necessarily staking, but to earn interest on your coin. And then we got Flare Mine, which will then be a way to take hardware mining and apply it towards non-proof of work tokens. And then you have Flare Loans, which is their loan platform. And then Flare Mutual, which is a mutual fund. So currently it supports Flare, their native token, XRP, Litecoin, ADA, Stellar, and I believe that is Dogecoin. The tokenomics for here is Yield Flare and Yield Fin, which here has a total of 110 million, and this one has a total of 11,000. Now, these are not out yet, but currently, what it's working with. So, there's going to be two networks. You have the Songbird network, and then you have the Flare network. And in the Songbird network, that is their Canary net, which is supposed to be a little bit different than just a plain old test net, where in a test net, tokens are basically anybody can create as many tokens really, and they're completely worthless. Here there is finite set of tokens set up, and it's supposed to represent a real working thing. And then if there was a bug within the system, then it's basically they would have to take the advantage of attacking the Songbird network first before actually attacking the main network of the Flare network. So basically, the incentive of time, if they hold on to it and they decide to attack the Flare network when they see the bug, and then they wait for the bug to get over into the main network, and then they wait to try to steal funds that way. The time increment between other parties as well as the attacker as well as the main network itself are all major factors. So typically you will see attacks probably hopefully only hope happen on the Songbird network, where the Flare network will be more secure and robust. But I shouldn't say robust, but secure for sure. The so Yield Flare. In our particular video today, we are going to be talking about the Songbird network because that's what's up right now. So we're going to pretend that this Y flare represents a token called XFi, or also known as experimental finance token, and then the 11,000 YFin, we're going to be talking about it as SFin, or the Songbird finance token. And then I think that's all we have here on this part. So let's actually take a look at Flare X, which is the DeFi or the centralized exchange. And you have where you can shuffle through the different pairs right now. So, like I said, Songbird. The CAND is Canary Dollar, which is their stable coin. So this is just $1. So $1 is going to get you about 10 Songbird. So Songbird right now is about 96 cents. And then SFIN here started off since it has 11,000, but it started off at 1.2 mil, and currently it's fallen down. So there's a giant banner when you are participating on this, and it says that you are using an experimental product suite on the Songbird Canary network. Please be aware of inherent risks involved. So here's a clear big risk, right? So it went from 1.2 million and now it is at 45,000. That's kind of crazy. So Songbird is the main token that you will need to use to participate in these products. And then XFi, that's going. I believe it's really. I'll explain more when I go in here into the farm. So in the farm, you'll be able to go ahead and stake your coins or put them out into the liquidity pool, and you'll earn interest into what you have. So XFi currently is one of the main tokens that are going to be used for collateral as well as the Songbird, and then for when the Flare network is up, then the Yield Flare will be that other collateralized token. And then Canary Dollar, you got to have a stable coin for the network. And so that there is like also how you'll get from the Flare loans. So in Flare loans, you can go in and go ahead and click mint, and you can put up the collateral of Songbird, Wrap Songbird, XFi, um, and then you'll get the Canary dollars here. That's kind of how they're currently being minted and created. There's also, you can get it from staking. You're like one of your other tokens, and then you can actually get from the liquidations that are caused by people taking out loans. You can actually get portions of that. So that's kind of cool. Same thing that's happening in the stability pool, if I'm not mistaken. And then in redemption, you can then convert your Canary dollars into the. I'm gonna assume you convert it into SGB. I'm not certain if you can select what it what it gets converted to, and the difference between doing the redemption from here versus just selling it on, say, the decentralized exchange is that in the decentralized exchange format, um, you have market arbitrage. So I mean, even though the stable coin is always supposed to be $1, at times it could be 99 cents, it could be $1.01, and so the redemption is supposed to be exactly $1, um, rather than having the what if arbitrage. So we're gonna go ahead and talk a little bit about the Flare Farm again. And so the main one that you'll use to start participating with is Wrapped Songbird. In order to get Wrapped Songbird, you need the Bifrost wallet. So you can download that on Google Play or Apple Store. And then once you have that, you can then send that to your wallet and start utilizing it. And then as soon as you start putting things in, it starts automatically accruing interest, and within moments you can start to claim. Now, the times that you want to claim is mostly during when the unclaimed amount is greater than the fee, and the fee is going to be roughly almost a penny, but not exactly a penny. So you basically just want to wait till every time it's over a penny, and then just go ahead, claim, and then rethrow it into something. That's basically the strategy that I've kind of come up with, and then I've also, you don't have to go to this extreme, but it's probably helpful. And you can then create a calculator that could then help you determine whether or not you should claim or not claim. So I can just show you what I do. I go over here, I hover over the number, copy. And again, this is my code, so it's not going to make any sense to most people, just me. But this is just what I do to kind of help myself. I'm a bit of a data scientist or data analyst. I don't know what the hell you want to call me. I do a lot of interesting technical stuff, and I find writing like Python scripts to help me figure out what I'm doing with my data. So here I got 4.2. Then I go over to Flare Farm or Flare X right now. Because right now, I copy the price of that. Where is it? This is do 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 do. It's like I lost the price. Oh, here it is. Put that there. Flare loans. I don't know if this will work. Probably not. Oh wait, but there's probably nothing here right now, so I can put it. No, that's Canary dollars. Da da da. 4.2, 1.1. So 1.8. We'll just say 2 for now. I don't really care. I've got to fix that up. Stability pool in this one. 1.118. I believe this is still the same number. And this didn't refresh, so I'm going to refresh here. Yeah. Okay, cool. So what I did is I just updated some information in some of my variables here in my script. And then I'm going to go ahead and run it. And then this will give me a report of basically of what I've made or put in. In here, I've got 4 cents here, not even a cent, not even a cent, and 9 cents here. So this one and this one I'll be doing a claim on, and then on these ones I will not be doing claims on. So that makes it easier in my head on figuring out when I should claim or not claim. Again, you do not have to go the extra work of doing this, but it's very helpful if you know what you're doing. I might make a user-friendly tool so that way other people can do this particular thing. But yeah, so on like good rule of thumb of how long it takes for depending, it depends on how much is in there, right? So I'm going to show you an example between what I have right now. So this one, Rap Songbird, I got about 4 cents in there, and I have about 962. which is roughly worth $86. So with $86, I'm roughly making 4 cents off of that per day. Now, this is not going to be exact. The APY changes constantly, and so it's not always going to be the same. But this kind of helps me, and usually I take kind of mental notes of like, okay, when is the last time that I ran this? So like, yeah, it was yesterday at 8 p.m. And so if I take a look, then I go, okay, well, and this is also when I did my claims, right? So I claimed them all. So now they're all empty. And so now I have, because the APY doesn't necessarily show properly, I'm trying to figure it out myself. So roughly, again, this is not 100% accurate and it will change day by day or even minute by minute. Really, it really depends on what's going on. I'm making roughly about 227%. That's not 100% accurate, but I'm gonna say maybe because I think right now it's if I should probably claim I should probably do the claims of these. Hold on. Again, this is why kind of me playing around with data uh, is different than other people because I don't know. But I like to play around to see what if is going on, like different things. Okay, 227. Okay, so yeah, if I take out the other stuff just from the farm itself, currently it's running at 45% interest or APY interest. So that's decent. And yeah, so again, to get Wrapped Songbird, go ahead and get yourself a Bifrost wallet, and then go ahead and move it in here, and then um, start playing around. Now, once you have uh, started getting, so let's say you just had started and you just got the Songbird in here, you can then start getting Songbird to claim, which will help you as you like. I basically the way that I utilize this right now in terms of my own personal strategy is that I am taking the SFIN and or anything that I'm farming and I'm throwing it back into the system. I'm not taking anything out and or selling it or using the DEX really. Um, but the SGB that I get, I just take that and I throw that back into my wallet, and that one's the only one that basically uh, I'm trying to make sure that I always have gas to consistently participate within the system. So that way, as long as I have that, if I really want to go crazy and claim on things that maybe aren't necessarily profitable for me to claim, but it makes me makes me happier in my data cleaning sense, then I can go ahead and do that and not worry about eating the cost of the fee. But again, the fee is like less than a penny. So, is it really that big of a deal? Most of the time, not. But if you're starting off, then you're going to start getting the SGB and you're going to start getting the SFIN. Now, once you start getting the SFIN, my recommendation is then throw it directly into the SFIN staking pool because this one is going to net you a little bit more in terms of the interest than this one, in my personal opinion. Actually, we can double check this because currently I got $23 in SFIN versus $86 in SFIN or in Rap Songbird, and in the Rap Songbird within what is it? It's 11:34 right now, and 8, so 9, 10, 11. 24, 5, 27 hours, 28 hours. Um, it's basically this one's netted me 4 cents and this one has netted me 9 cents. So Once you get the SFIN, throw that shit right into this thing. Then, once you start getting that, you're then going to start taking the SFIN and going straight over to Flare loans. Now, currently, everything that I'm talking about is, for the most part, risk free. If you start participating in Flare loans, I've noticed that it's not 100% risk free. So, Flare farms, oh, wait, I'm not 100% certain. I'm just gonna go back into Flare farms real quick. Um, in here, these are just solo pairs or solos. So just Rap Songbird, just Canary Dollar, just Experimental Finance, just Songbird Finance, right? But then there's these double ones where now you're putting Songbird and Canary Dollars, Songbird Finance and Canary Dollars. Now I believe if you just have these in your wallet and you decide to stake them, I believe it's risk free. I believe the only risk in these is that if you are borrowing to get the Canary Dollars, then you have risk. But do your own research on that, because I'm still playing around and still trying to understand this stuff myself. But back to Flare loans. Yeah, if you decide to mint Canary Dollars, I believe that's where your main risk is at. However, that is not entirely true. I had 22 cents in the stability pool for the Songbird collateral, as well as I also had 22 cents in the XFi thing, and now I do not have my 22 cents in here. Now it's not a big deal; it's 22 cents, but it's me, playing around with the platform and trying to understand it more so that when the actual thing goes in, then I can put in more money and actually try to take off that way. But right now, it's just playing around and in understanding how does this work, and I highly recommend that you do that as well. And also, again, remember this giant red disclaimer here: this is an experimental product, so please be aware of the inherent risks involved. Um, but once you get that SFIN, go into the XFi collateral tab, and then go into the SFIN staking tab and deposit your SFIN in here. Now, I believe this here is safe. This particular one is safe. I'm not 100% certain, and I'm trying to monitor all of this so that I have data to try to understand exactly what's going on. But yeah, once you start staking in here, you can then start earning some Canary dollars and experimental finance tokens. Then take the experimental finance tokens and throw them back into Flare Farm. And then the Canary dollar tokens, you can either throw that back into Flare Farms and throw that into its own thing to get at more SFIN, or you can take the risk, if you feel risky, to go ahead and put it into either the XFi stability pool or the Songbird stability pool. I believe once the other collateral pairs come up into there, the same thing. So that would be kind of the thing. And then once you start doing that, then keep on rinsing and repeating. Claim about once a day, unless you have a lot of money, and then probably twice a day. Who knows? It's compounding second by second, so it benefits you if you do it more, but you don't necessarily have to do it more. And again, there's also that fee. So you have to keep that in mind, and you don't want to go too crazy, because then you're just losing out. But yeah, so then you can take that Canary dollars and the XFi tokens and throw them into here to then get more SFIN, and then take the SFIN, throw it into this one, and take the SFIN from this one, throw it into the other one. And I don't know. Those are kind of the ideas, right? I'm going to take a quick break, and we will be right back.